Hello, my name is Rosie. I'm 20 years old, I'm 5'6", and I weigh about 440. I live in Canton, Georgia, and I just recently moved out 2 months ago, and this is kind of my living space. And, you know, I'm just still kind of moving in, and we moved in about 2 months ago, so it's kind of barren. And this is the kitchen and the new house that I just moved into. We had, before the other people who lived in here moved out, we had a different table set, and the chairs were much more sturdy, but these are more antique, and so I'm terrified to sit in them. I tried once, but see this kind of lightweight, old, rickety chair, I'm even scared to even try to in the video because I don't want to break it. It's not mine. So that's just one of the problems, is seating. Arms and chairs are never wide enough. And it's just that constant thing. You go into a new environment, and it's that mental checklist that I do without even thinking anymore. Surveying the area. Is there a place for me to sit comfortably while I sink into that sofa? Will this chair break? Will I be able to get out of the chair if the chair is too low? Just all these things that you have to think about that you shouldn't have to think about. And so one time, me and my friend went to the YMCA. It was the first time I had ever gone. We had walked around. I walked a mile in the loop. I didn't just go and do nothing. I walked around. I felt like, it would be a good idea to get some exercise since I just got a work from home position. But this lady walked in because we were watching TV in the youth room because we just walked around, and I was like, my back's hurting. So we're sitting down, and this lady walks in with her kid. And she looks over at me, and she just gives me this look, and she looks at her son and goes, well, I guess people can't just watch TV here, and walked away. And later on, when I talked to my friend about it, she's like, oh, I thought she was just mentioning that to her kid. I was like, no. She looked right at me. Because that's how I'm perceived. I'm perceived as incredibly lazy, fat, stupid. That's just how I'm perceived. And I want to change that. I want to change that. I'm sick of it. Because I'm not. I'm not lazy, and I'm not stupid. I'm anything but stupid. I was diagnosed bipolar at the age of 16, and I started feeling symptomatic at 15. Dealing with being bipolar has been a very difficult thing to deal with because you're so all over the board. You're much more likely to have an addictive personality, which I have one, obviously, and it would make me want to eat more. You're more likely to, do drugs or become an addict of some sort. Hence, I'm a food addict, and I know this, and I've learned this through therapy. But the big question is how. How can I make myself do all these things that I do know? I do know most everything about how to eat properly. I've never been able to implement it, and that's why I feel like going to The Biggest Loser would be so important, because
it's not giving you a choice. You're doing it.
What was I saying? Because going to The Biggest Loser would give me that push, that I am there, I am focused 100%, I don't have distractions, I'd be able to solely focus and get away and detox from the internet, from the television, from the crappy foods. That's what I've needed. That's what I've been saying I've needed since I was 15, 16. I have been saying, how can I do it? How can I do it? When I was 16, I was looking up on your website and devastated because I couldn't try out, because I was so lost and I just wanted to fit in at school. I was sick of being bullied. I was sick of it. And I am sick of it. And I've been sick of it. But being sick of it doesn't automatically give you whatever it is. And whatever it is, this big, whatever it is.
Motivation?
What?
Motivation. Whatever
it is, the motivation, the drive that I've tried, and sometimes I'll get so gung-ho and I'll start out, but there's this block, this mental block, the physical block, that I can't do it on my own. I mean, I feel like I've been given so many red lights, and I feel like without intervention, About an invention, I might not live after 10 years. The likelihood of me living is slim. 15, slimmer. 20, miracle. And that's just the sad truth.
Well.
Okay, so this is my local shopping plaza area here in Hickory Flat in Canton, Georgia. Hickory Flat's little section. There's mainly restaurants, grocery stores, and convenience stores, and a gas station, and banks. There's nothing really to do except to eat. And I'm just going to count some of the restaurants in this area, right where I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I know that's not all of them. So, you're never out of options, and I think one of them is healthy. There's a Subway right there. That's about it. Mainly the main convenience chains, but yeah, that's our shop. That's Canton mainly. That's this little section of Canton, one near me. This is just one of the many examples of how things affect how I do. I can't get in. Like I can't. It's not gonna work. I'll hurt myself and I might not be able to get out. And so the thing with my car is I'm able to drive it, thankfully, but I have to have the setting as far back as I possibly can. The steering wheel's as high as it can go, and my seat has to be as like forward as it can get, so that way it can support my back. And when I get in, I have to hold the steering wheel, get my first leg in, drop in like this. I have to fold myself in. Let me move that. And I have to take my hand and go like this on the console. Right there, the console. I have to take my hand, grasp on the door, and pull myself in. I normally grab this, adjust myself, and I'm in. And as you can see, it takes all of the space. So as I'm driving right now, as you can obviously see, and you can see the way the steering wheel gets into my stomach. And alright, so I'm just going to show you one of the main things I do. This is my computer. I'm dying to get a new one because this one's really old. But this computer is like, since I've started working, I'm nowhere near on it as much as I used to, but I used to spend, there was a year of unemployment, and I lived at my parents' house, and I really didn't do anything. I was really lost, and I would be on the computer about 12 to 14 hours a day, unless I was watching TV. And my main life was YouTube. I watch lots of videos about, user-created stuff. I'm really, really, really into YouTube. And blogging. This is Tumblr. I used to spend hours, I spent 8 hours just hitting this down arrow right here, just to see just to reblog pictures, spread information about whatever I was feeling, and, of course Facebook. Everyone uses Facebook, but, just my computer. And I like to write stories occasionally. I really like to write, but I can tell that a lot of what I deal with in my life prohibits me from feeling either the creative flow, or prohibits me from just wanting to feel all that stuff and create, because I feel such low self-confidence a lot, and I feel like, oh, this is just stupid because I thought of it. So, that kind of stuff. It's really hard, and I love to read. I really love to read. I'm done a lot of read, of course, Hunger Games, Harry Potter, stuff like that, and I like that genre a lot, and I like to read. And when I was a kid, and I was bullied a lot in elementary school, I had no friends, and so I would read 300 books in a school year and 100 during the summer for the between 4th and 7th grade. And then people would actually finally start to talk to me a little bit. so I just didn't read as much. And since I got into high school, I didn't read nearly that amount. See, I just landed this amazing new job that I've been there for about a month now, and I'm still in training, and it's this amazing desk job that I work from home. It's really nice pay, but it's a desk job, but I love it, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to think too much about it. But my job before, I worked, that was the job that got me out of being unemployed, was at a fast food restaurant. I was so excited when I got employed by this establishment that I had a job, and I was so gung-ho and ready to go. In the first week, I worked my ass off. I did everything I could. I did extra above and beyond, and then the physicality hit me. And I tried, and I pushed, and I pushed, and I pushed. I pushed my bodies to the limit. I tried, and it just wasn't performing like I should have been, and I knew it, and I hated it, and it pissed me off that I couldn't do the job that I wanted to do. It made me so angry that I couldn't perform because my body was holding me back, and it just wasn't okay. It wasn't fair, and it made me so angry. And they tried so hard to work with me, and they were so patient with me, and I knew that, and I understand that, and I appreciate them. But my body was holding me back. The muscles here and all this extra weight would cramp up, and I couldn't stand straight. I could barely stand like this. I would sit here and go like this, and it just was horrible. And my feet would pound and swell, and I could barely stand on them. And just standing alone I wasn't being paid enough for standing. That's how bad the pain was. Something that I believe that sets me apart from most everyone is my capacity of friendship. That I am able to be so loyal and loving and kind and able to put myself into all of my relationships that I have been able to muster up with the little self-confidence that I do have. That I know how loyal I am, and that's one of those things that has always been something I could say that was good about myself. And I am loyal, and I am kind, and I will do everything I can to defend those I love. But that is not going to stop me from winning this show. That is not going to stop me from winning. I'm not going to sacrifice myself for someone, knowing the stakes that are at this show, the stakes that are going to be given to me. And I'm not going to let people do that.
You're not going to make friends.
I'm not there to make friends, but I am there to make friends, if you know what I mean. I'm there to make friends in my life.
Not in the competition.
Not in the competition. What am I passionate about? I'm a 20-year-old girl who wasn't able to graduate high school due to the repercussions of the emotional trauma and the bullying and all of that through my way at high school. And I know I'm smart enough to do school. I'm lost. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. This competition would be the biggest stepping stool I could ever use to be able to put myself in the right direction, to find myself, to figure out who I am and what I want. I don't know what I want. And there's one thing I know I want, and it's to change. And this is the best, quickest, easiest, simplest, perfect. It is the perfect way for me to change. It's as simple as that.
Ready when you are.
There is one thing that I really didn't think about until just now that I am very passionate about. I just trivialize it because I don't feel completely a part of it, but it's being a part of the YouTube community. I don't have the confidence to make videos. I would love to be able to make videos and put them online, but I am so a part and deep into YouTube culture. I just love it so much. I love watching all those amazing, talented people who make low-budget, amazing, wonderful videos, either weekly or daily or whenever they feel like it. And it's just it's so much better than television. It's so much more real and grounded, and I just love it so much, and I wish I could be a part of it, and I don't feel like I can. And something I would love to be able to do is be a part of YouTube. Just like everybody else. It's not just sit there and comment behind my screen anymore. Just to be a part of something. Because I've never felt that before. I've never felt like being a part of something. I was never in team sports as a kid.
Ready when you are.
This is my dad's old shirt. Back in 2005, he got gastric bypass surgery. And I was about 15 then. Maybe if my memory's weird. but he wore shirts like this because it was the only things that would fit. When I was 15, I was about a size 3X. And so when I found this shirt, it's probably about a 6 or 7, probably I think a 6X. And it was very big on me, and that's why I loved to sleep in it, because nothing was ever big on me when I was that age. And I put on the shirt today in the mirror because I was just getting into some house pajama clothes, and I realized it fits me. And I remember putting on this shirt and saying, thank God this fits me. This doesn't fit me. It will never fit me. And here I am. I'm 20 years old. And this shirt fits me. This could cover an ottoman. And it's a piece of clothing. It shouldn't fit me. I should be wearing normal clothes. I'm tired of shopping online for clothes, and I'm tired of dealing with just that aspect of my weight, let alone, God, the I can't sit in booths comfortably and having to ask my friends who do like to sit in booths to get a table for me. Or, God forbid, there's no tables and I have to ask for a chair that more than likely won't be able to support me properly. And just dealing day in and day out with the many implications of my weight that involve everything from my communications with other people, my relationships with other people, and just everything, and that it's, your weight shouldn't define you, but it defines me. And the reason why I'm applying to this show is so it doesn't define me anymore. So that I can find who Rosie is, because right now Rosie's some overweight loser who's starting to find herself, just got a job finally, and spent a whole year at my parents' house unemployed, and hating myself, and just being on the computer 12 hours a day, staying up till 4 a.m., just not doing anything, not going anywhere, not advancing, and I'm finally starting to advance in my life. And this is the biggest advancement I could give myself. This is the best thing I could do for myself. And I know that I can get on the show, and I know that I can win, that I can do everything you need me to do. I know I can. It's my job to make you know that. I know I can. I know that I need this, and I know that Bob could help me. I know that anybody who gives me the chance, I can take it and I can do it. Because this is just, and I'm at the same weight my dad was when he got gastric bypass, and he didn't get his weight together until he was in his 40s, and I don't want to do that. I don't have horrible health implications that will hinder me the rest of my life. I can change that now, but I feel like I can't do it on my own. I'm just asking for the opportunity. Hell, I'm begging, because I know it's what I need. Totally. And like I said, I know it. You just need to know it too.